What's up, guys? We're not going to waste any time with this one. Let's get right to it. Amazon man just showed up. Let's see what we got. It's our Voswitch switch panel power system. And some 12-volt outlets. We'll get to those later. Let's go ahead and open this guy up. Alright, starting us off, we got a sticker, some instructions, zip ties, wires. This is probably the switch panel. Yep, there we go. That is what we're going to be installing. The buttons actually click. It's nice to hear that. And then here's the heart of it. So this is going to mount under the hood, and we'll get to all that here in a little bit. So why do we need this stuff? Well, you got a Jeep, you're going to put stuff on it, electronics, lights, whatever the case may be. Get up switches for them, turn them on. My Jeep didn't come with the factory switch panel, so I have to come up with something creative here. Found this guy from Voswitch. It's a four gang, 4 switch. 1, 2, 3, 4. These light up, and apparently you can change the colors of the lights as well. So I'll check all that out. To get this thing installed, we're gonna need to drop the windshield a little bit. And I've owned Jeeps for a long time now. I've never dropped the windshield. So this is going to be a first for me, so we're going to get through this together.
It gets dark there. It's only 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I have my headlights on. If it does tornado, I think I'm going to hang out in this tunnel here. Yeah, honestly, this might be my...
Alright, so according to this, we should be taking out this bolt and moving it. So we'll start with that 10mm socket. Go ahead and knock this guy out. Alright, so it looks like we take this bolt out. We're going to move this one to here and then pull this bolt. We're not going to need to use the one they gave us.
Yesterday while I was operating this trail, we got halfway down Hunter Trail 11, and the tornadoes came through with thunderstorms, just heavy rain. The skies got really dark.
So it's just going to sit on here like that.
So I did stay on hold. We were literally running down this.
So I'm not sure how well you guys can see this, but I have my winch cables ran negative, positive, and I may need to move this positive. It's kind of just barely in the way. It'll go down. I guess that'll be alright. Yeah, it'll work. We'll roll with it. Alright, so for now we're just going to go ahead and loosely put these bolts back in. We'll tighten it all up later. Alright, so now that we got that loosely installed, the next thing we're going to do is run the wire from the battery up inside, which is where we have to drop the windshield. So, let's get that going. So one thing Jeep decided to do is they made this little wire trench up here. And theoretically, you pop out all these little clips. It'd be a good place to run wires across the engine bay. So this is the only wire that's going to run into the Jeep. Everything else is going to be wired into that control panel. Come on, focus. There we go. This little guy right here. So we're going to run this up along that rail, over and in. And since they were kind enough to provide us with some zip ties, might as well use them, make this thing look nice and clean. So we're going to run right down here beside the fuse panel. Tosses it, tie around the wire loom that's already there. Alright, so once we get that started, we'll just keep on tucking this guy down in here. There we go. It's a little bit easier if you unclip those clips pretty much all the way and not just half-assed. Alright, so since we're over to this side, we can go ahead and just half-assed. Alright, so since we're over to this side, we can go ahead and get all these clips pushed back in. Alright, so our next step, we need to take off this cowl piece right here. It's a T40. And this just slides right out. There's a piece of foam right here that separates the cowl from the engine bay. So we're just going to take our cable and just kind of let it run right up under there. Damn, I really hope that was recording. Son of a bitch. And now we're at the point where we have to lower the windshield down approximately 15 degrees. It says don't go all the way or you can break your wipers. It also says consult your instruction manual for the Jeep because they don't tell you how to do it. I know we got to remove some bolts, so I'm going to look that up and then I'll get back to you. So this may be a little difficult to see, but this is where the visor attaches, and right behind it is one of the 4 bolts that needs to come out. Alright, now that those are out, we should be able to just lean this windshield forward just enough. I'm going to check the instructions real quick. I'm guessing this would be easier with the doors off too, but I don't feel like doing that right now. Fold down windshield, hold on to it, route control wire along the firewall top to the windshield corner. Feed control wire to cab through windshield corner. I mean, I can do that, but the wire's just like in there. So apparently I'm not the only one who's having issues with this. I was watching another video too as a guide, and he's having the same problem. Where the hell does his wire go? I know what it wants you to do, but there's literally nothing. Oh, hi, spiderweb. They don't give you guidance on where it's going, but I guess if you run it up behind this guy right here and bring it in, you'll be in the spot you need to be. Let's go and pop this guy out, and we're going to take this one out as well. I believe this will be a 10. And that's a hex key. So I'm not real sure what's going on here. When I went to pull out the windshield bolt up here, it was loose. This bolt was loose. When I say loose, I mean I didn't need to break them free. They were just barely hand tight. And I've never messed with either of those. When I put in the mirror mounts down here, that was solely this bottom panel. I didn't touch the top, so I don't know why these bolts are loose. You have to drill a hole in here for that wire to pass through. The instructions say just drill it while it's sitting in the Jeep. I don't know, I don't trust that. So this is simple enough to pop out. We're just going to bring it over here to the bench and drill a 20mm hole. And when I say 20mm hole, I mean a 0.79 inch hole. Thanks, metric system. All right, and now even though nobody is going to see this hole, I still want to make it look as pretty as I can. So we're going to eyeball the center and come in. And just look at that, a perfectly off-centered hole. And now we just need to ream this out just a little bit. I'm sure if I had a step bit, probably would have been what you consider the right tool for the job. But that right there is what we call making it work. So let's take this back and get it installed. All right, so as I was messing with this, the wire fits through the hole now. However, the wire coming from outside would fit in. However, this is the cable on the switch itself, and there's not a lot of space to tuck all of this and the wire that comes in. This will not fit out because of this connector right here, so we're just going to enlarge that hole a little bit. And this time we're just going to use a knife. So like I was saying, we're just going to take a file and file this guy out a little bit. Alright, and then just like that, we're through. So let's go get this guy installed. Hopefully you guys are going to be able to see this, but I'm going to go ahead and connect the cable. Screw it together. And I'm going to kind of run it down the side. Well, since I took this pillar off, I don't need to run that wire all the way up here. I was able to just run it through and then down here at the bottom at the dash, and that way it doesn't pinch on anything. And then that little guy will hold that in place. So we can go ahead and put our cowl back on. Now she's going to slide in. Okay, before we go any further, we're going to go ahead and hook up the electrical, make sure everything works, and then button her up, and we'll call it a day. Okay, so we've got our bundle, our positive, and our negative cables. I'm going to toss this negative, route it underneath, and then it'll come up and hit the terminal up there. The positive, we're just going to tuck down the side, and we'll come up and grab our terminal up there. Alright, these battery terminals are a 1/2 inch. Alright, so we can hopefully button this up. Go ahead and tighten this down. And let's go see if this thing works. Alright, so theoretically, oh, look at that, we got power. Turn it off and off, on. Sweet. So we can put everything back together. See y'all in a few minutes. Alright guys, let's talk about this Voswitch for just a minute. I've had it installed for a day and a half now. It looks really good. It looks like it was there from the factory. Really good finish. It's in a good spot. I like where the buttons are at. It's easy to access. So it's definitely a win. The downside to this is how freaking bright it is. And let's see if I can show you. Alright, so I'm gonna turn her on. It may not look so bad. That may not look so bad right now, but I can promise it's a lot brighter in person. It does light up really well, and then when the switch is on, they turn to that amber color. So one cool thing about this is you can change the color. This isn't coming across really well, but this is a blue. Then we've got white, red, and the green. The green is definitely my favorite, but it is way too bright at nighttime. So I'm gonna stick with the blue. And then you can also change the brightness on this. So that's fully bright. It's not coming across like I'd hoped it would, but just imagine a shining bright light right here in your vision. And that's as dim as it gets. So in order to change all this, to put it in the settings mode, just hold down the power button for 3 seconds and it'll turn on. And then you'll hit the power button, that will cycle through the colors. Aux 1 will raise the brightness and 4 will lower it. And as far as settings go, that's about it. So overall, I'm really thrilled with it. It's a great product. It's worth the price. The install is fairly straightforward. A couple of things I wish they'd touched on or changed in the instructions, but got through it all. So yeah, overall, I'm pleased with it, and hopefully get some lights hooked up to it soon. So thanks for watching this, guys. Appreciate it.